the barley fields, there'll be loads of pigeons in there. I tell you, I've only got to make a bag. You'll probably get gangs of them flying away. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can make a bag here. What did I tell you? Did you hear that? You've only got to make a bang like a stick on a stick. And that's it. There's got to be 100 pigeons there. There's so much grain for them to eat. I've just been buzzed by a couple of hornets, and it's made me realise that I've barely seen any wasps this year. Now, what I'm talking about here is the yellow jackets, you know, the yellow and black striped ones, as in this poster I drew a few years ago. Yeah, I've hardly seen any of those so far this year. Maybe 2 or 3. Which is odd, because normally this time of year you're surrounded by them and they're an absolute pain in the backside, aren't they? But no, I've hardly seen any. First little cluster of lords and ladies, Cuckoo Point, coming up with berries here. So the old leaves are peeling off and the green berries are underneath. They'll go bright red soon. They're poisonous, you don't want to eat them, but the birds like them. Oh, here's one of the first bits of fungus I've seen this year. Just a plain old bracket fungus, but nevertheless, the season has started properly. Something else I've not seen a lot of this year, which is good news for my garden and my vegetables, but I presume it's because of the lack of water again, because they find it very difficult travelling over dry ground. We have some very tall, very fresh young teasels here. They're lovely, aren't they? I always think it's a lovely structure, a teasel. There are some older ones around from last year. Here's some here, look. Yeah, there's some. I always think they're a particularly lovely sculptural plant. Love them. Well, there may not be many apples on my bramley tree in my garden, but we're certainly going to be alright for crab apples. This tree's got loads. Good oak. They're still handy for making jam. They may be too sour to eat, but they've got a lot of pectin in them. So you lob a couple of these into your jam, your strawberry jam or your blackberry jam, and that's your setting agent sorted. Wowzers. The ferns are the height of me now. They weren't like this even on a couple of videos ago. Amazing. They've really come up. Yeah, some of these are well over 6 foot now. Some probably on the 6 foot 6, 2 meters sort of mark. Wow. Well, shush. Well, this is all that's left of the Stinky Alps, as I used to call them. There used to be a big pile that ran all the way along the field here, from sort of down here right along. In fact, I can show you. I'll show you a video from about 2 or 3 years ago and you can see how big it was. Hang on. There you go. See, it was really quite large, and it all comes from a couple of local farms, a couple of free-range local farmers, where all the pig manure and all the chicken manure was brought here and dumped, and then it gets spread on the fields rather than artificial fertilizers and nitrates, which is a great thing. But my word, it did ming a little bit when it got a bit damp or it got a bit warm. But for some reason this year the pile hasn't been increased in size, whether they've run the animals down. I know one of the farms is shut down, which is a great shame, because it's where I used to go to get all my eggs. I like a nice range of eggs, and the farm used to supply me with bantam, chicken, duck, goose, even turkey eggs, which are a little bit bland, and they've got a bigger proportion of white to yolk than some other eggs, but great for making cakes and meringues and things. Oh, and if you've never had egg mayo made with goose eggs, do it now, before, you know, the end of your life. It's something you really ought to experience, but it's the best egg mayo you'll ever taste. So rich, it's wonderful. And yeah, I kind of miss the variety. I still have my duck eggs, I still have my hen's eggs, and again they come from another new organic source, but yeah, I miss the variety. I mean, this part of the walk isn't quite so smelly now, but saying that, I did catch a couple of kids with their mum, and the kids were climbing on top of this the other day, and I did go up and point out, saying, you do realise that what they're stepping on top of is a massive toilet, don't you? So there you go, the big pile of poo, the Stinky Alps, or Alp as it is now. Okay, this is very odd. I can hear a distinctive droning noise like you get with a bee swarm or wasps around a nest, but I can't see a single bee or a single wasp anywhere. You see, I'll turn the volume up, see if you can hear it too. How very odd. Can't even see anything going on in the sort of depths of the trees. Like in a hollow branch or maybe a bird box, because they do sometimes colonise those. See, there's a bird box there. There's a number of them along here. No, I can see no sign of anything. Wow, maybe they're bee ghosts. What would a bee ghost look like? That's it for today, I think. I'll see you in the next video. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him. Bye-bye.